In this series, called Painted Windows, we will be focusing specifically on color, and how the use of color in certain films is employed to convey thematic meaning and significance, sometimes in more interesting and profound ways than any line of dialogue ever could. The point is to illustrate how color is never just color. For instance, in the film we are focusing on for this installment, The Green Ray, the color green is used not only within costumes, but in all facets of the production design. Moreover, these colors combine and clash as they work in unison with the protagonist, developing a symbiotic relationship, while she tries to find an answer to her loneliness. The Green Ray introduces us to Delphine just as she learns her fiancé is leaving her before the summer holiday. Her capriciousness and desire to find love clashes with her family and friends as she vacations with them throughout the holidays. However, as the summer continues, she finds herself to be increasingly isolated and sets out to find the titular Green Ray, the last ray of sunshine that in some rare instances appears to be green. The movie utilizes green to represent a state of peace with oneself and being fulfilled in one's romantic goals. Delphine's best friend, who is in the most stable relationship, is often seen near or wearing green, whether it be her accessories, her clothing, or even just a green clip on her sweater. The green in nature also plays a role in representing Delphine's differing viewpoints on life, compared to her modern and more urbanized friends. The lush green foliage surrounds Delphine as a sort of protective blanket as she defends her quest for love or her vegetarianism. However, for the most part, these colors are always out of reach. Either they are in the foreground or background, almost never on the same level as Delphine. Her perspective on life is always on the fringes, and the film becomes a quest to pull them closer. Near the beginning of the film, we only once see Delphine with anything on her person that could be described as green, in the form of a blue-green handbag that will become more important later in the film. This misrepresentation parallels her own mistaken belief that Jean-Pierre, the lover who spurned her, represents the elusive Green Ray she was looking for. As she tries to rebuild her life after being left by Jean-Pierre, the colors change. Delphine is seen interacting with and wearing combinations of blue, yellow, and red. The colors mirror that of a recurring prop, a playing card with a green back and a blue, yellow, and red face. Each color alludes to an aspect of Delphine's life that is necessary for her to find balance and the state of harmony represented by green. Red is easily identifiable as a marker of lust, passion, and impulsiveness. Characters who are seen wearing red are often associated as potential paramours, aggressive suitors, or exhibit libidinous and sensual behavior. Blue, on the other hand, is more commonly seen on Delphine's person, as she goes on long solitary strolls or sits alone in her hotel room. The blue, evoking the depth and mystery of the sea, might pertain to Delphine's emotions and her introspective perception of herself. Finally, the yellow is less evident, but is most commonly seen in things representing youth, activity, and sociality. Yellow could thus be seen as an expression of Delphine's extroversion and her relationships with others. As these colors recurringly appear in the wardrobe, in props, and in the background, we see a pattern emerging in which Delphine attempts to meld these aspects of her life in an effort to find the happiness she desires and that she associates with the color green. But as she engages with others and encounters new places and things, she finds herself repeatedly at a loss and stuck in a state of despair. Her attempts to mingle with socialites with whom she has few intellectual similarities causes her to feel more alone than ever. Likewise, her encounters with potential lovers leave her cold and disenchanted. The contradiction between these disparate elements of her life is inherent in the three colors that represent them. Thus, neither a mere encounter with an attractive person nor a romantic tryst can provide an answer for self-actualization and love, in the eyes of Delphine. As the film progresses, there's a scene in which a group of people discuss the idea of the prism spectrum and how the last ray of sunshine can, in rare instances, be green. During her first lonely excursion on her vacation, Delphine decides to co-opt this notion by wearing a bathing suit that has nearly all the colors of the spectrum. Later, she befriends a tourist who also dons the colors of the prism, and we can see that her demeanor reflects the state of self-actualized contentment. This scene is the first time we see Delphine wear green since the beginning of the film, and we presume her search for love may be over, as they flirt with a pair of potential beaux. However, Delphine is uncomfortable, and retreats, ultimately tossing off her green hat in frustration. The Green Ray is still elusive. At her loneliest point, when Delphine is about to give up on her quest for love and on her vacation, she meets a man with whom she has a connection. Like Delphine, he carries an off-green bag, suggesting to us, and perhaps to her, that they share the experience of knowing something near to love, but not quite the real thing. Their pasts are represented here as literal baggage that mirror one another and allude to their search being at last near its completion. The Green Ray takes a traditional tale of self-discovery and romance and transcends it with its ingenious use of colors, thus creating a simple story about love and how by being patient and keeping true to oneself, we can find the rare color or person that can complete us.